I've only spent about 24 hours or maybe even less with Destiny, but I can tell you friends that it's been an ample amount of time to know that Destiny is really awesome. So for those of you who don't know what it is and you're kind of wondering what Destiny kind of plays like and if you should get it or not, well, then this video is for you. Now, I could just show some gameplay and sum the game up for you, so that's what I'll do. Destiny is a first-person shooter RPG with some MMORPG elements in it as well. We have 3 classes to choose from. Titan, Destiny's answer to the warrior. Heavy weapons and armor, high damage, good defense, and melee attacks in your face. Warlock, an interesting take on the mage, light cloth-based armor, lighter weapons, and some interesting like Dragon Ball Z style Kamehameha style magic attacks. And finally, my class of choice and what I'll be demonstrating for you today, the Hunter, the quintessential rogue. Stealthy, long-range sniper headshots, and up-close knife assassinations, and you can eventually even throw your knives too. As we see here, character customization is extremely in-depth for it being a shooter. It's no Skyrim, but it's still really good. We've got 3 races to choose from of both genders. Plenty of hair, tattoo, skin, eye, and face options, and color options, and you can get a pretty unique looking character out of it. So what is this game about? Well, in a nutshell, it's about going on missions and then going to town to shop and upgrade between missions, but it's a bit more in-depth and complex than that. As we see here, we have our own ship and the galaxy is ours to explore. Simply set a course for where you want to go and then depart. Each planet you unlock in the story has the same map per se. However, as you progress through the missions and story, more of the map opens up. There's also hidden areas with secret bosses and enemies, loot chests, collectible materials, respawning enemies, and if you spend enough time on the map, random public events will happen, giving the sense of this really being a type of MMORPG. That being said, I do need to address one thing, and it was something that initially worried me, was that Bungie had implemented what they were calling an always-on multiplayer aspect. Now let me tell you what I imagine, and I feel some of you may worry this as well. I imagine myself trying to be slow and calculated, and some douchebag randomly just joins in and just starts blowing through it, ruining my stealthy gameplay experience. But this, so far at least, has not been the case. Normally when you're on a map, you find hordes of enemies and things to do that distract you from the main objective. So while 3 to 5 people might be on the same map, the maps are big enough and have enough things to do where everyone kind of just seems to go their own way and do their own thing and not really bother each other. And then you kind of all group together when the big difficult public events start. It's a good system and I approve of it. Combat in this game is satisfying as hell.
The wizard's here.
You're a wizard, Harry.
It's got that classic Halo-esque combat feel, and the gunplay is so on point and intuitive. As you progress, you'll unlock better weapons, gain talents, perks, and abilities like double jump and triple jump even, and you'll get better and better, and finally, after a long time, we have another shooter game that really awards you for getting headshots, which I am a big fan of. Now, apart from melee, guns, and grenades, there's another combat ability that I need to mention that really sets the difference between classes: your super ability. Over time, your super bar will charge up until you are notified that you are now supercharged. Each class has a unique ability that can really turn the tides of battle. Warriors get a sort of ground pound that does AoE damage to all the enemies around them. Mages get like a really strong spell, I believe. And hunters, well, we've got like James Bond 007 swag as we get the Golden Gun, a 3-shot, at the beginning at least, giant golden revolver that we summon and normally drops whatever is shot with it in like 1, maybe 2 hits. Fucking awesome. As you level, you will get into subclasses and you can change and advance special abilities, but I'm not that far yet. Now let's talk about the Tower. The Tower is the last safe place on Earth, and it's home to the Guardians. That's what you are, by the way. This is where the game feels the most like an MMORPG, since here you can see all the different players walking around and you can perform emotes with them or inspect their gear and invite them to your group and the like. The Tower is something that I really like in this game. It's fun to explore. There's a post office, a place to collect special items, different types of gear vendors, a bounty hunter that offers you different challenges for extra EXP, such as kill 100 enemies without dying. You've got a bank to store your spare gear that you find for your other classes, so yes, it is a shareable bank between all your characters. There's a hangar where you can buy new ships and new vehicles, and there's a ton of other stuff to explore within the city. Also, as I mentioned, there's vehicles, and they're called Sparrows. They're like little hover bikes, and they sound like pod racers from Star Wars, and they have extremely sharp precision turning, and I wholeheartedly approve. So, that's Destiny for you. Now, there's definitely a few bits of content I left out of the review, such as PvP. Oh yeah, there's PvP. There's an entire planet dedicated to it called the Crucible, where you engage in your average Call of Duty style multiplayer matches, but I don't really care about that. Especially with all the double jumping and stuff, this game kind of equates to Titanfall almost in the way it feels with the multiplayer, minus the Titans of course. But if you are into that, it's there. And you even unlock PvP gear and the like as you go, kind of like World of Warcraft. So if that's your way of playing MMORPGs, then you can do that. There's also something that equates to a dungeon. 3-man missions that are extremely difficult. Now, these missions require Xbox Live Gold, but it would seem that all the other content, as far as I've seen, doesn't require Xbox Live Gold. Just an internet connection. So that's cool. Alright, let's recap. It's a first-person shooter with some special abilities, tons of gear, lots of character customization, and online MMORPG aspects with side quests, free roam style exploration, combat that satisfies, and yeah, you really need to get this game unless you just like absolutely hate shooters or RPGs. And if you don't, well then this game will probably appeal to you. It's one of the best games that I've played in years, and I strongly urge you guys to check this one out. Also, if you made it this far in this video, then you must really like me, and I've started up a little clan or group, if you will, on Destiny. If you'd like to join up, my group is called The Cult of Cthulhu, spelled just as it's displayed. I literally have not one single person in it yet because I just made it, so if any of my fans want to join up and play with me, then hit me up. I'm playing on Xbox One, by the way, so if you don't have that version, then we wouldn't, as of this moment, be able to play together unless Bungie decides to merge the servers cross-platform. But should you have the Xbox One and Destiny, then feel free to join up with me. And as always, hope you guys enjoyed the review.